Let's go. Good, beautiful people. Let's go. Good, beautiful people. All right, let's get into it. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. Let's get into it. Peace and blessings to everybody out there. Anybody that's going to come across this video, welcome. If you're watching this on my YouTube channel, welcome to my channel. It's Noah Godsey here, Mr. Laptop Lifestyle. If you didn't know, now you know. What I'm trying to do is grow. All right, so it's about 7:28 Eastern time. I'm here in Ohio, and yeah, feeling very blessed, feeling grateful for everything that I have. Grateful to still be here. I have breath in my lungs. I have clothes on my back, shoes on my feet, shelter over my head. I have money in the bank, transportation in the garage. I have all my appendages at work. All my organs are working. I have all my senses. This opportunity, I have this value to be able to give to y'all. My church family, my pastor, family, friends, enemies, haters, everybody out there. I'm very grateful for everything. Right, I'm just in a grateful attitude. I try to keep myself in a grateful attitude. Right? I try not to put the focus on my problems, the things that I'm going through. Okay, so I try to just remain thankful that I'm even still here to experience life. Right, because there are a lot of people that didn't make it to right now. Some people locked up, some people in the grave, some people in the hospital bed. Okay, so if you're still here, right? If you're watching this, you should be very grateful that you have your health. Okay, you have your loved ones around you. You have that phone. Right? If you have that phone, you got access to information, the same information that I have access to. Okay, so we should be very grateful. Okay, so with that being said, let's get into it. Mindset, right? Mindset. I want to talk to you about the mindset because if you don't have this specific mindset that I'm about to explain to you before you start trying to make money online or whatever that you try to do, right? You're not going to end up doing it because everything requires a certain mindset first. It requires a certain type of thinking. And this is why anybody can do it, right? Any results that you're seeing, anybody else get, you can create for yourself because you can think in that same way. Nobody can stop you from thinking the way that you want to think. Right? That's the one thing that you have complete, total control over that God gave us that is really like a superpower, right? There's nothing really else on this earth, any other creature that can think what they want to think and choose to become what they want to think that they can become, right? And make that a reality, manifest it. Okay, so yeah, we're the only thing out here that can do that, right? A dog can't wake up one day and say, "Oh, I want to be a cat today. Right? I don't want to be a dog anymore. Start acting like a cat." All right, can't do it, but we can. We can be wake up broke, busted, and disgusted one morning, all negative, complaining, just in a very, very bad mindset one day, right? And then you can make the decision that you don't want to be like that anymore. That's what I did. I was sitting in that Chevy 04 Impala, homeless, nowhere to go, no money in my bank account, blah, 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 right? We all heard the story. Everybody has their own story that's similar to like that, right? Where they were struggling or homeless or living in a car, whatever. Right? It happens to the best of us. And I remember making the decision like, I don't want to keep going down this road. I don't want to be the homeless dude living out of my car. I don't want to keep getting these results, not having any money, not being able to eat or have money or any gas to go anywhere. I'm just made the decision that I don't want it no more, right? And you got to make that decision. If you don't make that decision, you're gonna die right where you're at, doing the same thing. I know that sounds kind of harsh, but it's reality. It is what it is. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's gonna come make you do the things that you need to do to change your life. Nobody really cares like that. And even when you do pass, people are gonna act like they care for like a week, maybe two, if you was really influential, and then they'll forget about you. Right? People will stop talking about you. So you just knowing that, right? That we only have a limited amount of time, and most people will just forget about us when we're gone. We need to maximize this time, right? We need to do what we want to do, know what we want to do, and get it done, right? Get our assignment done in the time that we have, and we don't have time to waste. Okay? Every second counts. But yeah, it's going to require a certain mindset, like I said. And there's nothing, and you have to make that decision, right? That decision that you're going to start thinking different, and you're going to think the thoughts that you need to think so that you can make your life different. That's what I did when I was going through my go through. It's the same decision that you're going to have to make today. Do you want better? Do you want a different lifestyle? And I don't think you would be watching this, listening to me to this point if you didn't. Right? I don't know. Maybe you're just being nosy, trying to see what I'm doing. Maybe you're a hater or enemy out there, just watching, lurking, trying to see what I'm up to. But this is what I do. I give value. I make money online. I sell digital products. I do a little bit of forex trading. Um, Soon to have my e-commerce automation store running. This is what I do. Okay. If you're wondering about me, I keep things public on my timeline for a reason. Okay. Because I know you can't be naive, right? You can't be naive and think that everybody likes you. So I know there's gonna be people that are gonna come to my page that don't like me or whatever, have a problem with me. So, and that's cool, right? But I really don't care for you to see what I'm doing because there's nothing that you can stop that God has for me. So it doesn't matter what I show you or what value I share with you, right? And everybody's going to get the information and use it in a different way, right? So even if I tell you the right mindset, even if I tell you the right steps, doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to use it in the way that it needs to be used so that you can get the results that you need to get. All right. So yeah, shout out to everybody out there that is following and people that are going to get this value today and use it, right? Actually take action. So yeah, mindset, right? Mindset. So number one, you want to write this down. The first thing that you need to ask yourself is, what do I want? What exactly do I want? How much do I want to make in a month, a year? Okay. And one thing about whatever it is that you want, you need to know that whatever you believe you can achieve. I know it sounds cliche. We hear it a lot, but this is really honestly what it comes down to. Whatever you think that's going to happen is going to happen. The reason why I'm making 4 to 5 figures per month and I can't seem to crack that 6 figure per month, right, it just hasn't happened yet, is because I don't really believe that I can yet. Once I truly believe that I can, then it will happen. And when you guys see it happen, then you can come to a conclusion that, oh, he started to believe it, right? But whatever you're choosing, right? If you don't know what you want, when you're choosing it, keep this in mind. Whatever you believe you can achieve. So whatever you're thinking of is going to happen. If you only think you're going to make $50 per day online, then that's what's going to happen. If you think you're going to make $1,000 per day online, then that's what's going to happen. Another thing you need to keep in mind, right, about what you want is that it needs to be exact. Okay. It needs to be exact. And use as much detail as possible. Okay. So when you're thinking about what you want, use it as much detail as possible. This is why it's good to have. I know a lot of people don't like to do vision boards and stuff like that, but it's a good idea, right? Maybe take time to just think about exactly what you want. Type it in Google, print out a picture of exact everything that you want, the exact house, where it's at, the address, um, the exact car you want to drive, the exact type of person you want to marry, type of life you want to be living, right? The results, how much money you want to make. Like it needs to be an exact number, an exact place, an exact thing. Very, very vivid as possible. Okay, because the reason why this needs to be exact is because our subconscious mind can't work off of vague statements or blurry visions. You can't just say things like "I want to be rich" or like "I want to have nice cars." Right? Your subconscious mind doesn't understand what nice cars is. To your subconscious mind, a nice car could be a Toyota Corolla or a Hyundai. Right? That could be a nice car to your subconscious mind. So it needs to be an exact. All right. You can't just say I want to be making a lot of money because a lot of money could be $10 to your subconscious mind. Okay, so it needs to be an exact place. Also, if you don't give yourself a destination, there's no way you can get there. It's as simple as that. No destination. Equals. Okay, if you do not give yourself a destination, you will never get there. You will never arrive. Right? That's like taking off on the ship and not having a certain destination. You'll be at sea forever. You'll just be going around in circles. It's like taking off in an airplane and not having the exact city, exact coordinates to get there. You just be flying around forever until the gas runs out. So you need to set a certain destination, right? A spot, okay, a certain goal. All right. So ask yourself, what do you want? The next question you need to ask yourself is, what are you willing to give for what you want? Willing to give for what you want. Okay. What are you willing to give up? What are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to pay? Right? There's going to be a price. This is what I've come to figure out. There is going to be a price, right? Something that you're going to give in exchange. You're not going to just be able to start seeing success or any type of progress in anything without giving up something. You can listen to the stories of the successful people. You'll start to hear them say, "Man, I had to sacrifice time away from people, away from family. I had to give up certain things, maybe going out, smoking, drinking, whatever it is, right?" But something's going to have to be given in exchange. Okay, it's just like, think of it like you're a farmer and you're trying to grow crops, right? There's no way that you can expect crops or expect a harvest if you never planted the seed, if you never gave the seed first to the ground and watered it, cultivated that seed and that plant, gave it water and sunlight every day, kept the bugs off of it, kept the weeds out, you can't expect a harvest, right? So same way, you cannot expect to get what you want without giving first. All right. There are a lot of people that are in prisons, in the graveyard, who try to reverse this law, right? This is a universal law. When you try to reverse this law, you come across problems. devastating problems. Life altering problems will arise when you try to reverse the law of giving first before you receive. When you try to take without giving anything, right? And I'm not even speaking just about the law in general, right? The law really out in like our society law. I'm talking about the law, spiritual law, right? Where if you just take from people, taking information value or taking people's time or um, money, whatever, you are breaking the universal law, the spiritual law. What happens when you break a law, right? You'll be punished. Things will be taken from you. Things go wrong in your life, right? So you have to stop trying to reverse this law, right? This is what I've come to realize in a very short amount of time, right? I had to come to this realization that you're not going to get anything without giving first. And you must be not only, all right, and it just doesn't stop at giving. It just doesn't work like that, right? You can't just be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna stop taking it, I'm just gonna give so I can receive more. You cannot trick God. You can't play games with God and try to manipulate God. He already knows your heart. He knows what you really want and what your true intentions are. So the type of giver you got to be is a cheerful giver, somebody who is not expecting anything in return, right? Because you truly want to see other people increase. I've already tried it out, right? I tried to trick God. And the only way I know that you can't trick God is because I've tried it, right? You can try to play a little game like, oh, I'm gonna try to give, and because I know I'm going to receive, right, and I want more, so I'm just going to try to give, and get a return. No, 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 no. It don't work like that. Okay, you got to be a cheerful giver. It has to really be in your heart that you really want to see other people with more, not less. And the reason why you want to see people with more is because that's what you want for yourself. Okay. So you're going to have to give something, right? And a sacrifice will be made. Okay. Another thing you need to understand about giving something for what you want is that it's a process that you have to go through that will help you become who we need to be, right? The type of person we need to be, because everybody can't do that, right? Everybody can't get themselves in the mindset where they're like, okay, I'm going to give first. I'm going to be a cheerful giver in my heart. I want to see people increase, and I'm going to trust that God is just going to take care of it when I give whatever I'm going to give, whatever I'm going to sacrifice, right? I'm going to trust God that He's going to come through, like He said in His Word, right? He says it in the Word. Test Him in this and see that He does not open the floodgates. Okay. So you got to be a cheerful, unintentional giver. Okay. Expecting nothing in return. Give because you want to see other people increase. All right. So, two questions you need to ask yourself: what do you want? And what are you willing to give for what you want? Okay. The next question you need to ask yourself is what day and time do I expect All right. So you need to write down a day and time that you expect for this to happen. All right. And I know some people are going to say, be realistic, give yourself 5 years, 10 years from now. Right? But it doesn't, I don't believe it has to take that long. Right. I really, truly believe you can, if you really put in the work, you stay consistent day in and day out. Right. I believe you can manifest your desires in at least 1 to 3 years. I believe God can make anything happen whenever He wants it to happen, but I just thinking of it as in terms as a process, right? That you must go through. I think at least a year. Give yourself a year to 3 years, okay, to go through that process. So yeah, write it down, okay. Write it down and make it plain. Write it down and make it plain. Okay. There's something about writing something down. There's something about that, just that whole process of writing it out, speaking it out, right, into the atmosphere. It just does something, right? It does something. And I don't know exactly what it is, how to explain it, but it's just part of the manifestation process. You want to write down exactly what you want to happen. Read it out loud, right, daily. So yeah, write this on a card, keep it in your pocket, and I would say read it 2 to 3 times per day. Okay, as often as you can. All right. Um. So yeah, 3 questions, right? That will get you in the right mindset, get you on the right track. Okay. Sit down, ask yourself, what do I want? What do I really want out of life? What do I want to accomplish? What I want to be remembered by? Okay. Remember, whatever you think of is going to happen. So think as big as you want, whatever you can think of. Okay? And if you need to watch other inspirational stories, other success stories, so that you can get inspired and get some ideas. And that's what you got to do, right? Take some time, do some studying, look up some successful people documentaries, watch their stories, right? And then decide what you want. What do you want for your life? Okay, it needs to be exact. And if you don't have an exact destination, you will never get there. Second question is, what are you willing to give for what you want? You got to understand that a sacrifice will be made. And when you're making a sacrifice, when you're giving, right, whether you're giving value, whatever you choose to give, you need to be a cheerful, unintentional giver, right? What that means is you're just giving, being happy about being a giver, and not having the intentions of um, receiving, right? It's going to happen. That's how you receive. You give, you receive. So the receiving is going to happen. You don't have to worry yourself about if or when it's going to happen. God's going to come through on His part. All we have to do is worry about taking care of our part. Our part is giving, tithing, giving value, giving service, right? That's our part. That's what we can take control of, and that's what we have control of, and that's what we can do daily, right? God's going to come up on His part. Don't worry about what God's part and when He's going to do His part. All right. The last question: do I expect to manifest my desire? Right. So give yourself a specific day. I would say just if you do, right, I do believe God can make it happen whenever He wants to make it happen. Right, it can happen for you next week. Right, but honestly, this is what I've come to figure out is that you want the journey to be long because that's what you're going to enjoy the most. Right, the journey, the people that you meet, the relationships that you make along the way, right, the sights that you get to see. on the way there to the destination, right? Once you reach the destination, then you realize that it's not all what it was cracked up to be, what it was all hyped up to be, what you thought it would be, right? So enjoy the journey, right? Embrace that it's going to take a little time. So give yourself about a year to 3 years from now, and yeah, just put in the consistent work, right? Day in and day out. Last thing is you need to write this down. Okay, write it down when you're going to have it, what you're going to do to get it, when you expect this to happen, right? And read it two to three times per day. I would say when you wake up, maybe, and then read it again throughout the day, lunchtime, and then before you go to sleep. All right. So this will start getting you in the right track, right? This will get your mind off of all the other foolishness, what other people are doing. Okay, they're trying to hang out, they're trying to party, they're trying to get together and talk about other people, right? What they're not trying to do is what most people can't do or choose not to do, which is consistency. Okay. This this right here is what separates most people who say that they're serious, and then people who are actually serious and they're actually making it happen, right? Because you're going to come across a lot of people who are going to say that they, whatever they want, right, whatever their desire is, they got it written down, they got their vision board, they're always talking about it on Facebook, talking about they're going to be millionaires. But then there's other people who are actually putting in the work, doing what they need to do, right? Stacking their money, managing it correctly, making the right investments day in and day out, right? And being consistent. This is what separates people. Everybody can't get themselves to be consistent, right? And what consistency, this is what I've learned, it takes self discipline to be consistent. Self discipline to me is making yourself do things that you don't want to do, but you have to do to get to where you want to be, right? And doing it with the same enthusiasm. Okay. That's very key because being consistent can get tiring, right? It can get boring at times and you just lose the enthusiasm, you lose your energy. Okay. What I've learned that pushes consistency is when you see progress. Right? But you're not going to see any progress without first putting up the reps, putting in the time, right? Making yourself do things that you may not really want to do at the time, but you know you got to do it so that you can get to where you're trying to go. But once you start seeing that progress, right, it kind of becomes addicting. And then you're like, man, the way that I got to see this progress was through being consistent. So then you put two and two together. If I get more consistent, right, if I really go hard on my consistency, I really focus on that and double down on it, and I really stay self disciplined, then I will start to see continual progress. Right? I'll start to see progress. And as you start to see progress, it will start to get you on a different frequency. Right? It'll get you on a different frequency. And that's why consistency is so important, because you need to be on a certain frequency, right? You need to be on a certain frequency, and that's what consistency does. It continually pushes your vibration up higher and higher, right? So as you're more consistent, more results will start to happen, more sales will start to come in, right? So this, you're seeing more progress, so you're getting even more hyped, more motivated, more inspired as you're being more consistent over and over. Okay. And something you need to understand about frequency is that whatever your frequency is on is what you will match in your reality. Okay. 1 second, you guys. I need to make sure I'm still live. All right. Yeah. Cool. All right. So we're still live. All right. So the one thing you need to know about frequency is that your reality will match your frequency. Okay. Whatever frequency you're on is what your reality will be on. The reason why people can't maintain a certain frequency is because they lose consistency. You see how that goes hand in hand? The reason why they lose their frequency, right? That their frequency decreases is because the consistency decreases. When you increase the consistency, right? When you do something more and more, you're getting more, you're building more self-discipline. As you're building self-discipline, you're building that confidence in yourself, starting to believe, you're starting to see more progress. Your frequency is starting to raise, right? You're vibrating at a higher frequency. And as your frequency raises, your reality has to match whatever frequency you're on. So even if you find yourself in a not so ideal situation, right? Maybe your living situation sucks or just don't like where you're at. If you can keep a certain frequency, regardless of your current circumstances, your current circumstances will change to match your frequency. This is what I've come to figure out. Even though I was sitting in that Chevy 04 Impala, right? As I started to figure this out, started playing with these variables, I noticed keeping my frequency higher, my surroundings are starting to change. Even now, as we speak, right? I've been really focusing on my energy, focusing on keeping my frequency higher than what my surroundings are right now. And I'm noticing more opportunities are coming. Other things are lining up for me to change my environment. And it's because I'm keeping my frequency at a certain level. So as I keep my frequency at a certain level and I'm being consistent with that, I'm noticing that my surroundings must change to that frequency. They must obey that frequency. It's law. Okay. So got to get consistent first, right? That's where it starts. So choose something, you figure out something that gives you wins. For me, it's going live, sharing value like this day in and day out, sharing my results. Okay. Sharing my posts, my ads for my opportunities, right? Being consistent with that. As I'm being consistent with that, I'm noticing I'm getting more sales. I'm seeing progress, right? It's raising my frequency. But you got to get consistent, okay? You got to get consistent. All right, so the next thing for this whole mindset thing, right? Consistency is probably one of the most important things, but this lion mentality. Okay, I know you guys hear people talking about get into beast mode, get into lion mentality. Basically, the lion mentality is you are willing to do whatever it takes, no matter what, no complaining, no excuses. Right? You're willing to execute, make the kill for the day, and bring it back to your family. And if you don't, you will die. That's the lion mentality. That's the mentality the lion is in every single day. First thing, when it wakes up, it thinks that I have to go get it. I have to go make the kill today so that my family can eat, we all can eat, and we can live to hunt another day. So the lion lives for the hunt. The hunt is the process that makes the lion the lion. A lot of us are in the mentality where we wake up and we're not trying to go after, right? We're not trying to be proactive or um, be on the hunt. We rather sit back, be timid, right? We're like little gazelles. We want to run from it, run from the challenge, run from the beast. Okay, and we can't be in that mentality when we're trying to make something happen, especially when there's other people out there who are in the lion mentality, who aren't sitting back, who are proactive and trying to go after it. Right? You can't expect to get anything if there are people out there in that mindset. Right? So you got to play the game. You got to get in that mindset too, that you're going to go out and get it because it's out there for you. Right? And you got to make it happen. If you don't make it happen, then you're going to die. Right? Like I said before, nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's going to come hunt for you and make the kill for you. You got to do it. It's going to be a self-saving mission. Okay. So you got to get in this mentality, right? Once I snapped out of it, right? So the gazelle, on the other hand, it's in the opposite mentality. It's like I need to run away from it, right? I need to run away. I need to run faster than all the other gazelles so that I'm not the one getting ate. I don't want to be lunch today. The gazelle is thinking about running away. The lion is thinking about running too. Okay, so that's two different mentalities. One is thinking I need to go after it and I need to make it happen no matter what. My family, my life depends on it. And the other one is in a mindset where I want to run. I want to flee, right? I want to. I'm scared. I feel like something's attacking me, right? I feel like I'm being chased. You're not going to get anything in that mentality, right? In that mode. What you are going to do, being in that mode, is always have to be looking over your shoulder, being living in anxiety and fear, always running, right? So it's better to be the one on the attack than the one being attacked, right? So when you switch this mindset, you start going on the attack. You start going being the proactive one, going after it, going out and getting it. Okay. And when you walk into rooms with this mentality, people can feel this energy, right? People can feel that alpha type of energy, that beast mode type of, of energy, where you walk in a room, you're confident, you know that it's going to happen for you, right? And that's the mentality that you need to embody. That's what I go into every opportunity like I'm the best thing out, right? Like I'm going to make it happen. I'm the hottest thing out. I already know that I got this in the bag. Call it confidence, call it cocky, call it whatever you want, call it arrogant. I just know I have to go into it with that type of mentality of thinking that I'm already a winner, thinking I'm already a beast. I'm going to kill it. I'm going to make the kill for the day because my life depends on it. Right. So people can feel that energy when you walk into the room. A perfect example, right? When a lion walks up on uh, whatever lions eat, right? Whatever type of animal, like when it walks up on a hyena or um, what else? A gazelle, right? When a lion approaches a gazelle, the first thing on the gazelle's mind is that, oh snap, I'm about to be ate. Right? I'm about to be lunch today. The first thing on the lion's mind is that I'm about to eat. Okay. And animals sense this, right? Animals sense this, and this is why the animals fear the lion, even though the lion isn't a big, really like a giant type of animal, right? Really big animal. It's not the fastest, it's not the strongest. Right? There's really nothing about the lion that's like better than any of the other animals. The only thing different about the lion is that it thinks that it's a beast. It thinks that it's the king of the jungle. And the other animals, they can sense that type of energy from the lion. So they respect the lion in that way, right? They run from the lion. They live in fear of when the lion approaches them because they can sense that mentality that the lion has, right? And when you walk into rooms, other people will sense this energy about you. I always have people message me. They say, "Man, I love your energy. I love like your whole aura." Right? And it's not a coincidence. It's because I'm doing that on purpose, right? I'm putting out that type of energy on purpose because I know when I put that energy into things, when I go about things in that type of mentality, with the lion mentality, things happen for me. And I'm not like the gazelle, right? On the line, I'm going to this a beast. And when I'm already in that mentality, I usually win. Anything that I touch, anything that I go into, right? And people seem to think it's some type of magic trick, like it's like I have some type of green thumb or I'm doing some secret type of ritual or something like that, right? And it's nothing like that. It's not rocket science. It's not that deep. It's just I already go into things thinking that I'm going to win, thinking I'm going to be a beast at it. Just like the lion does when he walks into the room or he walks up on the other animals. And people can sense that, the universe can sense that. And people must obey. When you walk into the room with that type of mentality, the other animals obey the lion, right? When the lion walks up on them with that type of energy. So same way, okay? Lion mentality. The lion mentality. Okay, so the last thing for the mindset, gratitude, attitude of gratitude. Okay, so this is really, really important, and this is why I say that for the last, is because I didn't start seeing any type of increase, right? Any type of results until I switched my attitude. Okay, and you won't either until you switch your attitude, right? Until you switch your energy that you're putting out. Gratitude does three things, right? It does three things. The first thing that it does is it puts you in connection with the source. Connection. And the reason why you want to be connected with the source, obvious, like if you're trying to receive blessings and the blessings come from the source, which is God, okay, you want to be connected to that source. Why would you want to be connected to anything else? Why would you want to be connected to entertainment or your phone or other people or certain celebrities? A lot of us want to be connected to a lot of other things than God, the one that we want blessings from, the one that we're always asking for blessings from in our prayers. So, gratitude is going to put you in harmony with God, it's going to make you one with God. Okay. The second thing that gratitude does is it keeps your mind focused on positivity. Okay. And very, very key to keep our mindset right, we have to be thinking more positive thoughts than negative thoughts. Right? And the reason why is because we have about 70,000 plus thoughts per day. right? Our thoughts make up our dominant vibration. Okay. I'm gonna try to explain this in the best way that I can. So just be patient with me. All right. But we have about 70 plus thoughts per day. Our vibration, right? Our dominant vibration is made up of our thoughts, our majority thoughts. So our vibration dictates what frequency we are on. Right? And remember, like I said, frequency, whatever frequency you're on, that's what our reality will match. Okay, so knowing that our vibration can only be positive if we are having more positive thoughts, right? And like I said, we have 70,000 plus thoughts per day. So to for those to be positive, right? That for the positive to be dominant in 70,000 plus thoughts, you at least have to have 35,000 plus positive thoughts, right? So how do you do that, right? How do you have more positive thoughts than negative thoughts? You're going to have negative thoughts, right? It's just how it is. We think of certain things that we maybe have gone through in the past, or things other people may say to us, or things we see on social media. They're going to influence bad thoughts, right? Or the enemy sometimes can influence our, try to put a thought across our head, right? Whatever, right? You're going to have negative thoughts, but there's a way to combat this. There's a way to have more positive thoughts, and that's through being thankful, remaining grateful. Because what that's going to do is put make your mind focus on what you do have and off of what you don't have. When you start thinking of what you don't have, you start going down this rabbit hole. Right? It happens for all of us. Some of y'all may be going through that right now. You start thinking of one thing that you don't have, start thinking of another thing and the reason why you don't have it and what happened and who did what, and now what you think is going to happen from that happening, how life's going to get worse and worse, right? You just keep going down that rabbit hole till eventually things do end up getting worse and worse. But it came from you not being grateful, not focusing on what you do have, right? So when you focus on what you do have, you tend to start having more positive thoughts. You start thinking of possibilities of things getting better. You start anticipating good things to come when you focus on what you do have, right? When you focus on positivity. So it's always good to throughout your day just say, thank you, Father. Thank you for just being you, God. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for clothes on my back, shoes on my feet. Thank you for shelter over my head. Thank you for everything I have. My senses work. My appendages work. All my organs work inside my body. I'm breathing. I'm thinking correctly. I'm in the right mindset, right? Continually thinking and keeping things on your tongue will continue to keep you focused on the good things, right? And uh, this will birth expectation, good expectation of things to get better and better and better. This is why when you see people that are grateful and things just tend to keep happening good for them, right? Another good thing happens for them, and then another good thing happens, and then another good thing happens, and you're like, dang, it just keeps getting better and better for them. It's no coincidence, right? It's because they're truly grateful and they keep focusing on what they do have and what they believe they already have. This is why the broke, the poor will continue to get more poor, and the rich will continue to get richer. It's because broke, poor people focus on negativity. They are not grateful. They focus on what they don't have. When you focus on what you don't have, God will continue to subtract from you. But rich people, people that are living in abundance, they tend to be thinking of what they do have and how they're so grateful and thankful that they have it. So when now they're focused on positivity, they're focused on what they do have, God will bless them with more. The ones that believe they don't have, more will be taken from them. the ones that believe that they have, more will be given to them. It starts with grateful. It starts with being grateful. The third thing that gratitude does, it not only gets us what we want, it not only puts us in connection with the source, right? It also keeps our mind focused on positivity and off of negativity. Right. So when the mind starts focusing on something, it will become that. The last thing that it does is gratitude births faith. And the reason why this is important is because this is the only way to impress God. Yes, you can try to serve, you can try to give, you can try to do all types of things, right? Good things to try to impress God. The only thing that he really cares about is your belief, your faith. How strong is your faith? Do you have faith? Okay, so gratitude births faith. And the reason why is because when you're focused on good things to happen and you're expecting more good things to happen, right? You start getting faithful. You start to cultivate faith. You start to see the evidence of things not seen, right? And that's all faith is. Faith is just the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. It's the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. So when you start to get that evidence of things not seen, right? Meaning things that people can't see, right? That you believe that you have already, that you believe to be true, and that's there, but other people cannot see, right? That's your evidence of things not seen, the faith that you have. Because you can see it, right? We can see it. We have the vision, God gave us the dream or whatever in our head, but other people did not receive this, right? So their faith may not be as strong because they don't have any evidence of that being real, right? So how can they believe in something they don't have evidence of? And that's where faith comes in. You cannot get this faith, right? This faith cannot cultivate unless you are grateful first. As you start to be more and more grateful, you start to expect better things to happen. You start to believe more and more, right? And this births faith. Okay, so very, very key. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. All right, so just to go back over that real quick. Number one, it's the connection. It's the plug to the source. Gratefulness, thankfulness, gratitude. It will keep you in harmony with God. You want to be on God's frequency? Start getting grateful. Number two, not only is it going to get us everything that we want, right? Gratitude is not only going to give us everything that we want, it's also going to keep our mind focused on positivity and keep our mind off of negativity and everything that has to do with negativity, right? And the reason why that's important is because our mind, us as people, right, human beings, we turn into whatever we focus on. Whatever we focus on will grow, right? Where our focus goes, energy grows. So if you're focused on negativity, right, you're focused on everything you don't have, then that's what you will continue to grow in your life. Number three, gratitude gives birth to faith. Gratitude gives birth to faith. All right. So, yo, this will just get you, this is just the tip of the iceberg for the mindset. But going over these and keeping these in mind, right? What I just talked to y'all about will get you in the right mindset. It will get you on the right path. All right. This will get your mind right. What I talked to you to y'all about today, if you go over this, you take it serious, you ask yourself those questions, you will start to see a change. All right. Because somebody broke it down to me like this. The way that I got this information was through somebody that's already successful, right? Multi-millionaire, somebody that shared the game with me. And they broke it down, right? Before I got this information, my mindset was all jacked up. I was not thinking about none of this stuff. Right? I was trying to smoke, trying to drink, trying to chase girls, trying to take from people, not doing any good, not putting in good energy out there, right? Focusing on what I don't have. Okay, so hopefully you can make that switch, make that paradigm switch like I did, and you start to apply these things that I talked about today. Okay, so y'all, I love y'all. Know what got to hear, Mr. Laptop Lifestyle. If you didn't know, now you know what I'm trying to do is grow, like I always say, make the rest of it the best of it, and I'll meet you at the top because that bottom is way too crowded. Let's go.